What's going on out there in the world of Facebook, Instagram? Um, Let me see some here. So as y'all can see in the description box, I'm going to talk about. I know I haven't been on in a little while live, so I'm going to talk about the 2018 Warren Buffett shareholders meeting. I know I didn't get a chance to go live. One second here. Let me get my thing set up. All right. All right. I think we should be good to go. I'm trying to look at the screen behind me. But you guys already know the number. Hopefully, I won't be on too long because I know my phone battery's too low or whatnot. But I hope you guys been having a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I had a great weekend. Just getting back in a little bit. So as always, I always look forward to chatting with everyone live. Give me 1 second. So you guys that are on live with me, feel free to call in if you want to. You guys already know the number. Should 563-999-1980. That is the number if you want to call in and talk, all that good stuff like that. So what else I need to do? But anyway, now I got everything kind of straight. So now, the number is in the description box. I know I'm just going live out the blue, but that's what I need to do sometimes. Let me see, can I go live on my Instagram at the same time as we get into it? So, and for the people that are hearing this on the YouTube or the playback, thank you guys for tuning in and all the other great stuff. Give me 1 second. And let me know how you guys' weekend's been going so far. So I didn't get a chance to go live as much as I wanted to while at Berkshire this year. Not because I couldn't. It was just that I was 1 second. Okay, okay. Going live on my Instagram as well. Uh, nope. I didn't get a chance to go as live as I wanted to, much as I wanted to, because I was a little bit busier this year than I usually am, than I was last year. So here we go. Boom. Now we're live on Instagram too. So the thing about it was 2018, as you guys know, Warren Buffett shareholders meeting is held every year. It's an annual meeting. It's held on uh, for the people that's on Instagram, if you want to call in, it's 563-999-1980. But I didn't get a chance. Last year I went live every day at the end of every day. This year I didn't go live every day just due to the fact of I was a little bit busier this year, and I had a lot of meetings, a lot of people that I had to meet up with, a lot of conversations, a lot of talks, a lot of people that I talk with. One of the big things, he has it on. It's a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. The actual meeting is on Saturday. That's the one that everybody sees. That's the one that Buffett comes to. Everybody comes to and stuff like that. But it has festivities throughout the weekend. It starts really on like Friday with the expo in the afternoon. That's a big event where they have the expo, and the expo is pretty much where people come in and talk about. They come in and talk about their particular, not come in and talk, but it's all the venues are set up. So all the companies that he owns, not all of them, but majority of the companies that he owns, they have booths. So they have booths set up. Like for example, they had a Coca-Cola booth, they had a Dairy Queen booth, they had a who else was there? What's Fruit Balloons? Yeah, Fruit Balloons there. Shoe companies, furniture companies, all the companies. Duracell battery, that's a big one. Its first one was last year. So all those particular companies are there. So and when those companies are particularly there, you can go in and like walk around a particular company, see what they have to offer. Some of the companies sell stuff, and when they sell stuff, they not sell stuff, but they also sell stuff. They talk about the company. They'll tell you about the company, and Geico. Of course, Geico is a big one. I don't know how to forget it. How can I forget that one? But it's a bunch of them. He owns a private jet company. They have a portion of a private jet that you can go in and sit down in and things like that. They have a what else is there? So it's a lot of companies that are there at the expo. It's pretty much showing off his company. The companies get free exposure pretty much from all the shareholders. Also, the companies get. Also, the companies can get. You can speak with the company owners. You can get discounts and stuff like that. Then they have like a 5K. They have a 5K run called Invest in Yourself, where you can go out there and run and things like that. They also have what else is throughout the whole weekend downtown, everything downtown. It's pretty much built around the Berkshire weekend. That's a big thing there. The second day is the big day. That's the day of the meeting. That's the day that actually Buffett comes. Buffett talks to. He speaks about all in all probably about 6 hours. He starts about 3 hours in the morning. Then he takes a lunch break. Then he does 3 hours in the afternoon. So that's a pretty big day. So that's the biggest day. I know Bill Gates was there. Some of you people probably remember the TV show Fatal Attraction. Or what is not TV show, the movie Fatal Attraction. Remember Glenn Close? Glenn Close is her real name. She was there. I can't remember the model's name, but it was a model there. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was there. Uh, One or two athletes was there and things like that. And of course, I'm doing a documentary on it. I documented, got a couple interviews from shareholders and things like that. But this time around, this year, I want to do something a tad bit different. And what I mean by being a tad bit different was I wanted people to get a raw look at just regular people, more so of like celebrities. Last year I had a lot of celebrities in the documentary, from athletes and things like that. This year I was more focused on the regular people aspect. And what I mean by regular people, just shareholders who just show up to the meeting. So let's see who is this. It's for like regular shareholders who show up to the meeting. So I'm compiling those interviews together and my footage together to talk about my time there. So you guys stay tuned on that. If you haven't saw the one that I did last year, it's only like a 7 minute little run through of the kind of people that I met. But this one I got a little shot of Warren Buffett's house. I got a shot of what else I did different. That was the biggest thing I did different. I got a shot of Warren Buffett's house. I got a little bit more of actual shareholders walking through, saying hi, uh, and things like that. Some of the people that I got included: Dairy Queen CEO again, Andy Sorey from Yahoo Finance, Liz Clapman from Fox Business. You can see her all over, Fox Business, all of the good stuff like that. So overall, the meeting was pretty good. It was a pretty good meeting. Not a lot changed as far as like the meeting proceedings from last year. The big takeaways that I took away from what Buffett was saying was, he was preparing. He's 87 years old, so everybody know he's not going to be living. I mean, I'm not God or anybody, but hell, he probably outlived me. But everybody know that when you looking at someone who's 87 years old, people always, and your right hand man is 94. People are always going to wonder, hey, who's taking over the company next? Who's doing it next? What are you going to do next? So that's a big thing. What Buffett was talking about, who's going to take over him next? For the people that are just tuning in, I'm talking about the 2018 Warren Buffett shareholders meeting. I'm going to be putting out interviews slowly. I think probably one of the first ones I'm going to put out is Fox Business. A couple of shareholders walking around talking and things like that. So, but yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things that I do at Berkshire is that documentary. I think it's going to, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to become a thing in the future of, you know, oh, Prince Dykes documentary on Berkshire. What is he going to do now? Who is he going to pick up this year and stuff like that? So that's one of the things that I plan on doing. But we just having a regular conversation. So last year I was able to do a whole lot more for you guys, where I was live every day on YouTube. I was live on Facebook. It was a big thing. This year I was a little bit more used to the festivities that was going on. One, two, I didn't have two. I had people actually recognized me this year. You know, Peter Lee said, was it catered or did they have different new vendors? Yeah, they had a couple new vendors. Peter Lee, they did have a couple. And for the people out there that do want to call in and share their words or ask questions, You guys see the number in the description box on YouTube. For the people on Instagram, it's 563-999-1980. So that's a new thing that I'm kind of doing to on the Prince Talk once a week for you guys to come in and be able to talk and all the good stuff. So, but no, they did have a couple new vendors. They had a new vendor. You know, this, the hand sanitizer. You know, the little clear hand. It's a company called Lubanol, something like Lubanol. I can't even think of it. It was a couple new vendors, a couple because you got to think about it. He owns so many companies that not all of his companies are there. Um, so he had a couple new ones that I didn't recall seeing last year. But the one like the, you know how you see your shoes, they have the little gel inside of them, the Air Maxes, where people have little gel inside of their shoes. You know, the company that makes those little gel, the company that makes the lubricant, they the hand sanitizer lubricant that we all use that we put on our hands. They make that stuff. They make the little gel that go inside of shoes. So they did all kind of little cool stuff. So yeah, it was that was a new one that I remember. It was a company that sold frames that was there. So it was a couple new companies. The big usual suspects are Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is the biggest brand there. Dairy Queen is there. Coca Cola is always there. You know, who else is always there? C's Candy. C's Candies. Borscht. I think Borsch's Jewelry was always there. Like you say, he's calling in. Yeah, definitely call. Oh, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. We got a live caller. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what's your name?
Yeah, this is Dino Garrett 20, man.
DM Carol 20. Go ahead. Tell us what's your name? I mean, you already said what your name is, but where you calling from?
I'm currently in Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. All the way from Portland, Oregon. Okay. What's your
Yes,
real?
sir. But I'm a transplant.
You're a what now?
But I said I'm a transplant to Oregon. I'm not native.
Oh, where you from originally?
I was born in London, England.
London. What you doing in
Just don't,
Oregon?
yeah,
Going
just don't have the accent, man.
in. Yeah, what you doing from London? Getting all the way to Portland. How do you get all the way to Portland?
Yeah, my mother brought me here when I was an infant, man. So I had no choice in that one.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, cool
But
to
I
have
have a
you on.
quick question for you, sir.
Go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So I'm just now getting into the stock market, man. I've been following you, man. I love your page, man. But what's your thoughts on over the counter stocks, man? Would you go fully invested into those type of things? I just want your thoughts on them.
Well, the first question is why are you paying attention to over the counter stocks?
Well, because I'm interested in these cannabis stocks, man.
Okay.
That's where I'm at with it.
Okay, so for you guys out there, over the counter stocks, they're using old school terminology is called pink slip stocks, right? And they're usually very cheap stocks. Am I right about that?
Yes, sir.
So they're pretty very cheap stocks. That's why new investors are attracted to them because they're usually penny stocks. They usually cost a couple cent, maybe a couple dollars. Very cheap to get into. So if you got $500, you can get a bunch of shares, and this company goes up. All this stuff like that. Most of the OTC stocks, my personal opinion, of course, there are some good ones out there, but vast majority of them, especially the cannabis stocks, that was very popular last like January time frame last year, marijuana stocks, but they're garbage. Majority of those things are garbage. Most of them, the people that make the money off of those are the people who short those stocks. Those are the people who make the money off of like when the stock goes down. I would challenge you to do this. If you're looking at an over the counter stock, if you're looking at a penny stock, you gotta pull the financial reports. Don't just go off of, oh, I read an article and I this article has said this and it said that. Look at the financial statements. You know, right here on this YouTube channel. If you use E-Trade or TD Ameritrade, I can show you how to pull up the financial statement because a lot of these companies they don't make a product, they don't make any money, they don't do anything. Look at the raw financial statement. That'll be my biggest challenge. If you do get an over the counter stock, most of them are losing money hand over fist, and people jump into them early because I was the same way. They're very cheap to get into, and they have a high. Let's say if I went and brought McDonald's, McDonald's is probably not going to double by the end of this year, right? But if you get into a new
Mm-hmm.
cannabis stock, it has a possibility to double. So that'll attract, I got a potential to double my money. That's what attract new and amateur investors to jump into over the counter stocks. But when you look at the raw data, the financial reports, it's just like anything. If I ask you to borrow money and I didn't have a job or no income, would you let me borrow it?
No, sir.
Exactly, right? So these cannabis companies you're looking at, I ask you this question: how much money are they making? Do you know?
See, and that was the second part of my question, man, because like I said, I'm brand new,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been looking at certain things on TD Ameritrade. It says market cap,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see outstanding shares.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of mostly go. I kind of look at the market cap, and if I see it like in the billions, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it may have potential. That's my idea, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, market capitalization, the larger the market capitalization is usually the more stable the company is, right? If it's in the billions, that's almost kind of like a blue chip stock. That's almost kind of like of a,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if a company has that larger capitalization versus a company that has $200 million market capitalization, the $1 billion company is usually more stable, right? Because it has more money, right? But the thing is,
Right.
that's a decent size to see market capitalization and kind of measure risk. But I will challenge you to go over to the fundamentals and look at the financial reports of those over the counter stocks you're looking at. Look at the fundamentals of them.
Okay.
Look at how much money they're making, how much money are they losing. Before you even look at the price of the stock, it's something I learned from Buffett. He was like, price is what you pay, and value is what you get, right? So just because something is
Mm-hmm.
free or it's a low price and it's in a company, it's in the industry that you like, doesn't mean if I came in and said, "Hey man, I got a company called Prince Burgers. I haven't established it yet. It's not doing anything yet, but give me your money." You probably wouldn't do that. You'd probably go to a McDonald's or Wendy's. But there's a lot of these cannibalist companies, these marijuana companies are. They're the exact same way. So I would challenge you to look at the fundamentals and look at the finances on it. Look at the finances
Okay.
before you look at the price. Look at the finances. Guess how much you would pay for that stock first before you look at the price. Because you
Okay.
got to think about
See,
it.
and I
Ask
I'm
yourself
I'm
this.
kind of I'm kind of
Go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Now to think
I don't
about
mean
it,
to cut you off. Go ahead.
you got to think of the concept. Why do you think a company is listed on the stock market? What's the whole purpose to get
I
listed?
wouldn't know.
The reason why a company is
I,
listed,
I guess they gain funds.
you're exactly right. They're there to make money, right? They go public in order to raise money, right? So a lot of
Right.
companies, they're brand new, they don't have anything going yet. This is a way for them to make money. And do you want to be invested into those particular companies when you have another array of companies that are doing very well for themselves? I give you an example. You go back on this page 2, 3 years ago. I did a video called Under Armour versus Nike. This was when Under Armour was rocking at 80 something dollars per share. Everybody, Stephen Curry was winning. Stephen Curry was winning championships. Under Armour was doing all this great stuff. But when I broke down the finances on that video, I said, why is Under Armour so much more expensive than Nike, who is making way more money than them? Everybody called me crazy. Oh, you know what you're talking about? No, blah, blah. This company's going to do this. But now you look at Under Armour's price now. Because at the end of the day, a company can get gassed up, but that stock price will always revere its head in the future. So look at how much money they make. Look at the fundamentals before you, but because most of those OTC stocks, those penny stocks, they're pure trash. Majority of them, you can't find a diamond in the rough,
hmm
but majority of them, they don't do anything. So that
Okay.
that would be my thing to you.
I appreciate the help, man, because I didn't want to. Because I'm kind of getting a little bit too excited. I already got $700 invested into various over the counter stocks, but I'm like,
Hmm.
should I pull the reins because it's not a guaranteed commodity yet, man. So I just wanted to pick your brains, man. I appreciate you answering the call, sir.
Man, no problem, man. Anytime.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
You too. But that's the thing you guys got to be wary about. Thanks for the call that came in from Portland, Oregon. But that's the thing you guys got to be wary of is, you know, you jump into a stock because you think that, hey, this is particularly cheap. I can get into it very fast. It's easy. But when you look at your portfolio, like he was stating, you may end up with a bunch of stuff you don't know nothing about. But it all depends on what your. It also depends on what your. Okay, one second. He said, "How would you calculate the intrinsic value of a company?" Max B says. Max B, you want to call in? If you want to call in, you guys know the number 563-999-1980. So you guys know the number if you want to call in and talk. But the intrinsic value of a particular company, right? It's a little bit extensive. First of all, I look at their market capitalization. I look at what they're doing first. What are you producing? What does this company do? Right? So once I know what a company does, it produces a service. Let's say, for example, a McDonald's. You guys give a thumbs up for the people that are joining in and things like that. Let's say if it's a, I know we're supposed to be talking about the 2018 Berkshire, but hey, it's what you want guys want to talk about. We'll talk about it. But the intrinsic value of a particular company, first thing I look at is simple. What do you do? Do you just make hamburgers? I make hamburgers. I sell them. The hamburgers cost me $1 to make. I sell them for $5. That's how I make money. Okay, this is what you do. Second of all, how much money are you making? Right? How much money are you making? This is how much money they're making. Now I have to look at the debt to income, the debt to equity ratio. How much debt do you have on the books? Because a lot of companies grow by debt. For prime example, me, I have a brand new company. It costs money to brand and market and get a company out there to travel, stuff like that. So they may go out and they may say, hey, they may go to a bank and get $20,000, $30,000 loan. Once they get that $20,000 or $30,000, they take the $20,000, $30,000 and they push that out to everybody else. For prime example, they take the $20,000 or $30,000 and they use that to make products, create logos, buy trademarks, buy copyrights, buy all of this stuff like this. So when you're watching this new company, you're like, man, these guys are making moves. They're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing that. But you don't know that they're doing that off of debt. How much of this growth is fueled by debt? So I also evaluate the debt to income, the debt to equity ratio. Look up the Q10. Anybody's 10Q. Look up the 10Q. When you look at the 10, not 10Q, 10 kilo. I'm sorry. It's a 10Q out there too. 10 kilo. That's the annual report. The 10Q is the quarterly report that a company must turn into the SEC. That's the raw. It's dry. It's very raw, but that's going to give you everything you know about that particular company. When you get in that particular company, that's going to tell you every single thing that you want to know. So when I look at a company like that, I'm going to ask myself, okay, now that we have this particular company, how much is their growth is funded by debt? How much debt do they have on the books? Because who cares if they're bringing in, $600 a month, but they have $20,000 of the debt on the books? That hurts me. That's the way you look at it. Well, call up and talk. I can't say your name. Durango 20 stock market. Whatever he said. He said stock market is basically a Ponzi scheme. Come in and talk about it. Tell me your opinion. Tell me what you think about that. Durango 20. So that's how I evaluate a company. It would be the same way. Imagine if your buddy had a barbershop, and with that barbershop, he tells you, I need someone to help me invest into my barbershop so I can make it grow, and I'm going to pay you back. What are the things you would look for? Right? You would look at how much money does he have, how much money does he have on the debt, how many other investors, how many people he owes, his location, all of those things you would decide on before you gave someone your money, right? So those are the exact same things I look for in a company: how much growth they have, how much debt they have, how much money do they make, what do they do, and I also look at the competitors. Look at the competition because when you look up on E Trade, or TD Ameritrade, it'll tell you the top competitors in that sector. I will see what the sector is doing, and I will compare. I will see what the price is of their competitors. What are the prices of their competitors are going for to figure out the intrinsic value? Now, it's more of a mathematical equation that I use to say, okay, well, I think this price is overpriced or underpriced to find the intrinsic value. But those are the biggest factors that I look at. Hope that helps you guys out. So, but yeah. So anyway, so now that we're off that, and nobody's asking other questions, we're going to go back to 2018 Berkshire Hathaway. So once on Friday night, once he had the expo, it's a big thing in Omaha that I'm noticing that on that Friday night, everybody loves to go to the jewelry store called Borchers, I think. Borchers. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but everybody goes there and they have a big. They have an open bar. They sell jewelry. They have food there, so people go there to eat. They walk around. They have live music there, so people listen to live music. People walk around and buy jewelry, very expensive jewelry, of course. People buy jewelry. People buy food. What else people do? They drink. It's like a little store area there, so people kind of mingle, stuff like that. So that's very big. Now, when you go to the second, that's like the first day. The second day is the actual meeting where Buffett gets up, he speaks. He spoke about his company being in good hands. That he was saying, hey, a lot of the things that are going on in the company is really not because of me. It's because of sound principles that anybody else can. He's setting up the company to where anybody else can, not anybody else, but someone else can drive the company. Where he's saying like, hey, well, these are the principles we're set up on. This is how we do and what we do, and this is how we roll essentially, right? So those are the particular people that I mean, those that was a big day. Of course, Bill Gates was there. Of course, Charlie Munger was there. The usual suspects are there, and that was a big thing. Of the, of course, and he's a big index investor. He doesn't like cryptocurrency because he's a simple investor. Maybe he's old. Who knows, right? 87 years old. So he has just simple principles that he invests off of. Value invest. He look at buying value of a company and what a company is worth. So that was the first thing. That was the second day. One second. Putting this thing on the charger here a little bit. So that was the second, the second day. The last day, he does a couple interviews, and they have the ping pong match. That's a big thing. They have the ping pong match at Berkshire, and once they have the ping pong match at Berkshire, they also have the once they have the ping pong match at Berkshire, they also have the I'm trying to think of it. They play cricket. They play ping pong. They it's a big day. Was Sean Jay Z? I'm guessing Peter Lee is asking was Jay Z there? No, I never seen Jay Z. I don't think. No, I never seen Jay Z in real life, so I didn't see a Jay Z there. Could have been, but you got to think about it. I think this year they handed out like 43,000 shareholders passes. So you're talking about 40,000 people in the city. I get what you're saying, Sean. Sean Carter, everybody know that's Jay Z. No, I didn't see him there, but I heard that him and Buffett has met before and stuff like that or whatnot. So, but no, I haven't never seen him there. Nope, nope, nope. Now I can think of, but could he have been there? Yeah, he easily could have been there, set up in the front somewhere, and came in through the back and left out of the back. But I haven't seen him. But I did hear that Mark Zuckerberg was at the Grot Steakhouse like a couple months ago, like 2 months ago. Who don't know who Mark Zuckerberg is? Mark Zuckerberg, that's the owner of the iconic Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg, they say, was at the steakhouse like 2 or 3 days ago, not 2 or 3 months ago, before Berkshire. And I think before that whole shindig broke out with the whole privacy stuff like that or whatnot. But yeah, on to the next thing. No, I didn't see. I saw Nebraska's quarterback Taylor Martinez. He was there. Glenn Close was there. And those are usual suspects that I remember. It wasn't as star-studded this year as it was last year. I saw more people. They didn't do the paper toss this year. They didn't do the paper toss. For people who've been following me, that's why I've seen a lot of people. That's why I met uh, Calais Campbell of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who did very well last season. Steven Jackson. Okay, he says, who is this? Dean Garrow 20 says, are you into cryptos? I'm one of the people that's on the sideline right now, cryptos. Of course, I'm watching cryptos. Am I particularly into it? Think it's the next big thing? I don't know. I watch it. I say uh, one of the big things is there's a lot of. No, I haven't looked into the OUSA ETF. Max B, what is the OUSA ETF? I don't know what that one is. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Let me look into that. But yeah, the cryptocurrency market this week it did pretty good. How it rebounded. Um, we will see. We will see where cryptocurrency goes. I'm definitely not into the jumping into the hottest new thing. So far this year, compared to December when it hit an all time high, it's still trying to truck back up. But we'll see. Peter Lee says, "What are your thoughts on the Robinhood platform?" I actually think the Robinhood platform is pretty good. It's for people out there who don't know what Robinhood is. Robinhood is a new. Um, it's a not a new. It's been around for a while, but you can trade for free, right? One second here, OS. You can trade for free, and I think that I don't know if they start doing it. You guys remind me on that. U.S. Quality Dividend ETF. How much dividends is that? One second. One second. I'm looking up the OSA ETF that you guys brought up. Okay. Dividend. Okay. That's a quick search. Conservative long term investing. It's going for $30 a ETF right now. OUSA. Okay, so like it's overseas US quality. Oh, quality dividend. All right. Trying to see what is the dividend. One second. Looking at the dividend expiration, 7 cent. These are the O shares. But yeah, so cryptocurrencies, I'm still watching that with a close eye to see how it goes, to see how it comes up. Whatever you guys want to, I know some people are very big into it. Some people at the beginning of the year, some people was projecting it to be at $100,000 by the end of the year. Some people are projecting it to be at $29,000 by the end of the year. Right now, I think it's at what like 9,000, if I'm not mistaken, $8,000 to $9,000 range. You know, but cryptocurrency is a 24-hour market that's trading every day. So yeah, I'm on the sideline. I'm still watching. I'm still researching it and things like that. So, but am I one of the crazy guys that are like betting the house on it, things like that? No. But I am aware that new things does happen all the time, like the internet. When the internet first came out, it was a crazy idea, but look at it now. Now we can't live without it, and that may be. And I'm not dumb to think that that couldn't happen to cryptocurrencies. But I am, I'm not that smart on it, but I'm smart to know that I don't. One second. I'm smart enough to know that I don't deal with things that I don't know a whole lot about. Right. Oh, Max B says it's Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank's ETF. That is a fact. Yeah, so okay, so I'm looking at it now. I just pulled it up, Kevin O'Leary. That's why he called it the O shares. That's how he makes a bunch of money too. It's paying 2%. Okay, this investment seems to track the performance before fees and expenses of the target ET's U.S. volatile yield factor. The underlying index is designed to measure the performance of publicly traded large cap and mid cap dividend issuers of U.S. that meet certain market capitalization, determined by the FTS Russell Index. Okay, so it doesn't surprise me that Kevin O'Leary he has a dividend ETF um, from Shark Tank. For you guys who Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, he's a big dividend investor, and he says that if you don't pay dividends, he don't invest into you. He has a market. Whoa. Well, one thing I don't like about it, the expense ratio is 0.48. That's a little high. And let's see what the portfolio look like on it. You guys getting to see me live, how I usually do this. It's 100% in U.S. companies. You know, one second. 100%. That's 100% in U.S. companies. And let's see. Okay, so he has Johnson and Johnson, Exxon Mobil, Intel Corp. He got Home Depot in here. He has AT&T, Pfizer, Procter Gamble. He has Verizon. That's the top 10 companies that he has. Okay, he has some majority of it's in the defense. So okay, that looks all right. But one of the big things is I'm going to compare it. How long this thing's been around? Hope I didn't miss none of you guys' questions while I was reading. George, this says you seem to play it conservative. No, I won't say that. I do in a way. I look at it to get more active. I look into technology stocks. Option trading. That's very aggressive. I do a little bit of that, but not too crazy. Nowhere as near as much as I used to. But the thing is, okay, so this thing has been around since 2015, and since 2015, I'm gonna delete this off. Okay, so so Kevin O'Leary's the old USA. I'm looking at it. I don't like it. This is the reason why I don't like it. First of all, the expense is 0.48%. And it's 0.48%. And since it was installed since the January, Joe said, I like your style and presentation. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But look at this S&P 500. When I look at this old USA, I forgot who brought it up. Since it came out in July 20th of 2015. Oh yeah, definitely Happy Mother's Day. Okay, one that says, what do you think about the energy ETFs? No, I don't think the energy ETFs are too late to buy. Give me a symbol. I'll look it up right here. So the person who put out the OUSA, when I look at the OUSA, it came out in July 15th of 2015. Until now, it has underperformed the stock market by 10%. It has underperformed the S&P 500 by 10%. Yet and still, it charges like 1,000% more or something like that, right? So yes, does it pay a dividend? I know it's focusing on dividend ETFs, and the dividend ETFs pay it yields 2.4%. Kevin O'Leary's ETF yields 2.4%, which is good. But I can look at a Vanguard S&P 500 index, and it yields 1.73, right? So he does pay a little bit more. Uh, yes, ETF does mean exchange traded funds. So it does pay a little bit more. He does pay a little bit more in dividends, but when you look at the expense ratio, that's where it gets a little scary. Well, I won't say scary, but that's when it becomes a little crazy, right? So let me see something here. So the expenses are very high. The dividends are a tad bit higher, so no, it's a no go for the old USA. And I'm comparing to the S&P 500. S&P 500 is the top. It's a the S&P 500 is the um, benchmark of finance. Max B, I asked because I'm looking to buy my first shares of stock and singled it to PG VU or PEP. He said PG VU. Let me see. Joe says Joyce Dish says what numbers are good for the expense ratio? You gotta think about it. The S&P 500 ETF is at zero point zero 0.04. So if that's at zero point zero 0.04, that's kind of my baseline. I base everything off the S&P 500. So that's zero point zero 0.04. If you're lower than that, that means you're very low. If you're higher than that, you maybe a little bit higher. But now I want to see how your performance has been. So okay, he said he's looking into PG, VU, or PEP. So let me see. I don't know. I know what VU is. VOO. Let's see. What is PEP? Pepsi. Okay. So when you guys are looking to give me a call, if you guys want to call in live and talk to me while I go through this. Okay, Pepsi Company. Okay, so Pepsi, I do like Pepsi. 3.81% dividend. It's at $94. It's a company that I understand. So I would not be, interested. Okay, we got a new caller here. Look like they coming from New Orleans. One second.
Max B.
One, one second, Max B. One second. Let me put you so everybody can hear you. All right, can you hear me? Hello? Is he there? What? Can you hear me,
I
Max?
can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
got it. What's going on, Max B? What you got going on? Well, first of all, tell everybody your name and where
Yeah.
you're calling from. What's your name and where you're calling from?
It's Byron, and I'm calling from Portland, Oregon right now, but originally from New Orleans.
Every Oregon, Portland, Oregon. I never been to Oregon before, but you're the second caller today to call in from Oregon. But yeah, go ahead. What you want to talk about?
Yeah, like I said, I was looking to get into this stock market game. I'm new,
Uh
and
huh.
I've been watching your channel and a few others and been learning more about the conservative way and Warren Buffett way. And I've been watching income statements and balance statements and starting to narrow it down to, like I said, Pepsi,
Mm-hmm.
Procter and Gamble, or ETF.
Uh huh.
And I was wanted to know which would be like a more like safe way, not a safe way, but
Hold on one second. We got someone on the phone.
uh,
Johnny.
One second, Johnny. One second, Johnny. Let me put you on hold. I got another call. Okay. One second.
All right.
One second. Uh, all right. So we got another call. I got to put him on hold there. But okay. So if I was brand new into investing, Byron, calling from Portland, Oregon, I would go with VOO first. You know, I will start with that one first. That would be majority of my stocks, and then I will lean over into uh, Procter and Gamble and Pepsi. You did make two. I do like Procter and Gamble and Pepsi. Their companies off bat. So, but I will start off with VOO first. If people out there who know what VOO is, that's the S&P 500 by Vanguard. It's an ETF. I would definitely make that majority of my portfolio, and then I will build off. I will build from there. But 50 to 60% of my portfolio will be the index.
nah, that's smart. See, that's what I figured, that it's safer to go with the index because it tracks. I have a great diverse portfolio with the VOO, but I've been looking at the PG income statement and balance statement and it's starting to shrink and everything. I didn't know if it was heading somewhere good or bad.
Okay. Yes, so that would be my way. I would start first. I will start with the VOO first because you get the top 500 companies in America. It's paying you dividends, and so I will start with them first. Because think about it. 20 years ago, I love to use this analogy. People probably heard me say this 1,000 times. 20 years ago, the 20 years ago, Blockbuster was a great investment, right? You
Yeah.
know, but now today, not so much. Netflix is a good investment. So who knows? 20 years from now, people may stop drinking soda. We may join something else. But if you got the S&P 500, you're keeping up with the U.S. economy. So that would be one of the ways I would start first. Knowing what I know now, I would start with them first. Uh, have that in my core, and then because you got to think about it, if Pepsi was to collapse or Pepsi was to collapse today or tomorrow, that wouldn't be on the president's desk. Well, I got everybody calling in now. So I hope that helps you out. All right.
No, that was perfect, Prince. I'm glad for that advice, man. Thank you. I hope wish you well for the show, man. I love the channel. I hope everything good.
Uh huh.
Tell your wife Happy Mother's Day and have a great one.
Definitely, I will. Thank you for calling in.
All right, no problem.
Okay, cool. Who we got here?
Hello.
Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny, tell us what's your name, where you calling from?
My name is Johnny. I'm calling from Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, we got somebody different from Ohio. So you're live. Tell us what you got. What's your question? What you got? What you want to ask?
I actually just wanted to say that I like what you're doing. I'm sorry to like bother you, but I like what you're doing, and Honestly, I really, really appreciate it, and that's all I wanted to say.
Man, I definitely appreciate it, Johnny. Man, I think you're married, kids.
No, no, single, single.
Okay, you're single. Well, tell your mom's Happy Mother's Day. I'm pretty sure you already told her that too. So
Of
definitely
course.
Happy Mother's Day, man. I definitely appreciate your support. I'm glad you like what I'm doing, and I definitely appreciate you for calling in.
All right, thank you.
Right, no problem, man. Anytime.
Yep.
All right. You're on live. Tell us
Hello.
your name and where you're from.
My name is Mark. I'm from Alabama.
Mark from Alabama. Look at that. First we had Ohio. I mean, first we had Oregon. Two from Oregon. Now we got Ohio. Now we got Alabama. What's on your mind, Mark? Thanks for calling in.
Yes, I'm actually from Alabama. I'm looking for a loose nigger,
So what now?
and I'm looking for a loose nigger.
Okay. So we got a guy who wants to call in and play, but all right, Mark, you out of here.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, we have we just keep it moving on. People call in with anything stupid. We just keep it moving, right? So anyway, but yeah, thank you guys for calling in. I hope that helped out people with what you call it, with everybody that called in. I'm glad I can help. Glad that people who liked it or whatnot. So I know people calling in saying next caller rude, stupid stuff like that. You don't pay it attention. You guys are doing worse by giving it. I won't say worse, but you don't pay stuff like that attention. Come on, I've been on social media now for 5, 6 years. People call in with stupid stuff all the time, and people comment with stupid stuff. And hey, thanks for calling in, wasting your time and your life. So, but anyway, moving right along. But yeah, I definitely did like the. So we'll keep going. I know I missed a lot of you guys' questions. I appreciate what you're doing. Great service for the people. Options or index have a great leverage minimums plus a risk of one stock. So options are very dangerous. I just did a video on options versus stocks, so check that out. J Stay Hip. What's going on, J Stay Hip? Yes, he's saying index funds are great for anyone, i.e., SPY, QQQ. Then we got Derek Hood for beginners or anyone like me who doesn't know anything about stocks or trading. Can you explain what an ETF is? ETF, Derek Hood. If you want to call in and talk about it, Derek, we can talk about it on live. But if not, we'll talk about it now. Derek, ETF is exchange traded fund. What it does is, let's say it tracks stuff. For a prime example, let's say the stock market. My battery's kind of going out now. Hold on, got a caller here. Let's see who this is. I explain what ETF. Come on, you on live?
Hey, is this the investor show?
Yes, this is an investor show. What's going on?
Hey, so I watched one of your guys' videos, because I do some financial aid.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty broke right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because the only way I make money is in the streets. You know what I mean? And I was trying to try to find some financial aid. Yeah. And now I'm real broke and I owe lots of debt. I want to know why you gave me wrong information.
Well, I don't know wrong information as far as explaining.
Like I watched one of your videos.
Which video?
And I forget which video it was. I can try to find it if you really want me to.
Yes, please do.
All right, let me find it real quick.
And
hold on a sec.
Got hundreds of videos. I don't know how many videos I've done and been on. I think exactly. Here we go.
My friend Big Mug, which is another we're real street.
Yeah,
we're real street boys. But I was trying to make some extra money, get off the street. My friend Big Mug.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to let you go. We got another call on the line. All right.
Can you not help me out?
You saying you're making money off the streets, and I don't know.
You told me that. You told me that
if I stopped making money on the street and I try to get a job, then I would be making like more money. And that's not the case right now. And they fired me from the job. I got a job at Wendy's. You know what I'm saying? And they fired me because I wasn't like doing my job, and I would like sell my mixtape outside and stuff. And I want to know why you like told me wrong information, because I could be making more money right now on the street.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, if you want to go to the
I
streets, go to the
mean,
streets,
you're
man.
the investor. You know what I mean? I'm going to you because you're the dude who knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Because I dropped out of school in the 7th grade. You know, because they had recess and I don't play around, so I dropped out because I don't like to play around. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. I like this.
And
You guys give me a good
when I
little
was in
joke.
7th grade, that's when I started selling on the street,
Mm.
moving weight. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you
And I
really
went from moving weight to moving burgers at Wendy's, and that didn't get me nowhere. So I want to know what's up.
Well, you may want to find some way to add some value to yourself. You have any education?
I have no education. I have 7th grade education.
Well, you may
That's
want
the
to
limit.
get a GED. You may want to get some education, build a
What's the
skill.
GED?
You don't know what a GED is? Well, you may want to Google that.
No, I
You
don't
got
know.
to use a Google machine, and once you're done with your GED, get some education about yourself. If you don't want to go to school, learn how to be a barber, learn how to paint, learn how to do something like that. But and once you get that figured out, now you have more value to yourself, and then maybe you could get a better
Yeah.
job. Yeah, you're right.
So
I do
will
know.
that bring in? Will being a barber bring in four racks a week?
It could.
Because that's how much I make moving this weight.
All right. But I gotta go. Okay, gotta get to the next call. Okay, thanks for calling in. All right, next caller, you in live. What's going on?
Ronnie from Indiana.
What's your name?
Ronnie from Indiana.
Rudy from Indiana. What's going on? You're live on the Investor Show. What you want to ask? What questions you got?
Well, I wanted to get in. I've been on when you first came on and listening to the guy from England that came over. His parents brought him over, and my battery is about gone now, so I got to go. But I'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for calling in. Maybe we catch each other next time.
All right.
Cool. All right.
Peace.
Peace. Next caller, you're live on the Investor Show. What questions you want to ask? Hello, are you there? Hello. All right. So I guess we got a caller who's not saying anything. Call back if you need to. All right. So yeah, there go our rash of callings. Of course, guys, trolls call in. I thank you, trolls, for tuning in. For people who don't know what a troll is, it's just somebody who just to call in, just to I don't know. But I'm used to trolls. I've been on the internet for a long time. So, all right, here you go. He's called back. Oh, 1 second. You're live. What's your name? Where you from? Hello. Well, I guess it's not saying anything, so I gotta drop him. So, but anyway, thank you guys for calling in who did have real questions. All of the trolls, I appreciate you guys too. I see you guys in the comments. I get your emails, all of this stuff like that. So, the guy, that was pretty common. The guy who talking about, hey, I was dropped down to 7th grade and I'm moving weight in the streets. I'm getting $4,000 a month from wherever the case may be. The guy who called in, yeah, Jay, stay hip. You're right. I eat trolls for dinner. Okay, this person's calling back in again. Who is this? You're live. What's going on?
Don?
What's your name? Where you calling
Oh,
from?
hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, I've been studying some niggerology. Can you help me out here?
Oh, okay. So we got another troll. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's the way we, back to ETFs. So the thing about ETFs is ETFs is exchange traded funds. They are ETFs as far as exchange traded funds. They track a particular index. For a prime example, let's say if you have the S&P 500. Let's see who we got here.
This
You
is
know,
Derek. Derek Hood.
what's
I was
your
in the comments.
what's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Derek Hood. I was in the comments asking
Oh
about the
yeah, Derek.
ETF. I'm from Oklahoma City.
Derek Hood from Oklahoma City. Yeah, Derek. So
Yeah.
the thing about it is, when you look at ETFs, you know,
Yeah.
when you look at ETFs or whatnot, exchange traded funds, you're looking at these are particular companies, right? Not companies, but they're a way to invest and they're a way to track something in particular. So an exchange traded fund,
Okay.
what it does is it just tracks whatever you have going on. So for a prime example, you may have an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, right? The S
Okay. Right.
the S&P 500, uh, you know, the S&P. So for prime example, you have the VU, Vanguard Exchange, right? The Vanguard. So what it does is it just tracks. It doesn't try to match anything. If the stock market crashes tomorrow, the ETF will go down. As the stock market goes up, it just tracks it. And the thing about it, what I like about them right now is that they're very inexpensive compared to their counterparts, index funds and mutual funds. So, for a prime
Okay.
example, they just maybe you may have one in real estate, and it just tracks real estate. All right,
Okay.
if that makes sense. So let's say if you wanted to, you watch the stock market, be like the Dow Jones is up or the Dow Jones is down or whatever the case may be. So
Mm.
you know if you want to track the Dow Jones, if you want to track the S&P 500, one second there. If you want to track the S&P 500 or Dow Jones, you can do that by investing into an
Okay.
ETF for an cheap and expensive way. All right.
All right. All right. Hey, brother, I just want to tell you, man, keep doing your thing, man. And I appreciate what you're doing. And don't worry about these trolls, man. They just hate us.
Yeah, I think it's very, for somebody to watch my show and call in to call me a nigga, I think that's pretty funny. So,
Yeah, man. You and yours, man, y'all have a happy and blessed Mother's Day, man. Thank you.
happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
All right.
All right.
Hello?
Yes, you're on live.
Nigger, how are you?
What's your,
Hello?
yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name's Kaden, and I'm calling from Oregon.
Another call from Oregon. All right, Katie, you on live. You got any questions?
Oh, okay. What was that? Hold on. I would like to talk about all these racists just coming. I've had a similar situation with me. I had all these like race and misogynistic people just come into my live stream, and I was doing a live, and they were just being really offensive. And honestly, they need to grow up. You know.
Caitlin,
I mean, what do you think about this?
Caitlin, I'm 33 years old, so I've been on. Like I said, I got thick skin. I don't worry about stuff like that. I've been doing this for a while. I don't worry about people like that. So what was it? Whoa. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Thank you.
Say again.
Nigger, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So hold on one second. All right. All right. So there we go. Let me see. The Lucky Green Cup Max B. Yeah, maybe I do. But you gotta think about it, guys. What you guys see and hear is stuff I see all day long, right? And I'm glad you guys get to see it live. I see emails, comments, stuff like that. You guys give this stuff more attention than anybody else, right? But I know it's more of you guys who like the show than more of anybody else that's a hater. So, but if somebody want to call in or whatnot. But anyway, I've been here almost an hour. Let me see who we got here. Oh, wait. Yeah, I do need to get a moderator, right? Go ahead, you're live. Can you hear me? Oh, wait. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, wait. Can you, I got somebody that's on hold. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Joanne.
Where you
from
call
Indiana.
from? Indiana. What's your question?
It's about paper trading
Mm-hmm.
uh, versus
Actual trading.
going live,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been paper trading with options for about 7 months,
Wow. Okay.
and I'm looking to transition over. I'm a little nervous
Mm-hmm.
about going live, and I'm just trying to get some questions answered about whether if there's much difference in the paper trading versus going live. I'm doing pretty well. I'll have to I went through all of like the corrections in February and all of that
Uh-huh.
and options. And now I feel like I've been through all of that, but just a little nervous going live, and whether if there's much difference in between what paper trading versus live,
Yes, I would say
in your opinion.
this is the first thing I would say. I would commend you on being smart and starting with paper trading before you went into real trading. Now, the thing
Hmm.
about paper trading versus real trading is with paper trading, you have with paper trading and real trading emotions. When it's
Yeah.
not really your money, you kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll just I'll put in a 1 second. I got you on hold. One thing is the things that people look at is the emotions. That's the biggest piece. When it's not really your money, you kind of like, okay, well, I'll just throw $1,000 on this call and see what it does.
Uh-huh.
Versus when it's your real money, you think about it twice as much. As soon as it's not moving in your direction, you'll pull out faster when it's your real money. So it's the emotions is the biggest thing when you move from paper trading into real trading, right? So, but
Okay.
the thing that you're learning now is that you can come up with a system and design what you want to do. Like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is my entry point. This is my exit point. Hold on 1 second. This is my entry point, or this is my exit point. So that's the way you have to
Hmm.
look at it. So that's the way that you have to look at. That's the way you have to evolve from it. So before you, when you buy, when you get an option, you have to know what your goal is first. Hey, this is my exit
Hmm.
point. This is my take profit. This is my take loss point immediately. And the biggest thing moving over that I notice is emotions. When it's not really your money, you'll be like, okay, I'll
Hmm.
give it a try. But when it's really your money and
Yeah.
you lose 1 or 2 times, that's when that'll be the big difference.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I appreciate it because like I said, I've got a system. I have a system down now, and
Hmm.
so, but it's like, is this really, is this really is going to how it's going to be? But
Yeah.
yes, I can
Hmm.
understand what you're saying. Yes,
Hmm.
absolutely. So,
Yeah, it's a big
okay,
difference. But
you've answered my question.
yes, definitely stick to your guns and create your system. When you have your system down, it's just that you got to control those emotions when you get into the real market and you see your real money being lost. So,
Okay, okay. I will definitely keep that in mind. Yes, I will. Thank you.
thank you.
Uh-huh.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see who's the next caller. You on live? What's
Hello.
your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Redwood City, California.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Charles Lexington.
What's your question?
I'm also known as CL.
Okay. What's your question? You sound like a troll a little bit. What's your question?
I was wondering how many niggers can
All right. So we're going to the next caller. Next caller, you're on live. What's,
Hello.
what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Benjamin, and I'm calling from Canada.
All right, Canada. Okay. What's your question?
My question is, fuck niggers.
So, We got the trolls. But anyway, guys, I've been on here for an hour. I got to get out of here. You said you called it early, Cali. Exactly, right? So, but I got to get out of here, guys. I'm not taking any more calls. We've been on here for a whole hour and 5 minutes. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank everybody who likes the show and tune in. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Be safe. I'm out. Thank you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of the good stuff. All right.